Yeah, and you've had some injuries this year, some quite significant, some a little less of an injury, but lingering.
Right.
From at least 3 players I know of. How much of an effect, and this all originated in 2009, but
Right.
What kind of effect has that carried on in the conference play for you?
Well, losing Brittany Shadowins was obviously a big loss because when we lost her, she had several games where she had double-doubles and points and rebounds. And she also brings about a height presence that we really lack a little bit of, because at times we could use Brittany and Lindsay on the court at the same time, and that was a pretty good height presence just defensively. And now we don't have that ability, so it's changed some of the options that we've had. Losing Jenny McLeish we still haven't had her back in a game yet. She is back practicing now. But then we lose a person who comes off the bench who has a great understanding what we're trying to accomplish, a very intelligent player, doesn't make very many mistakes, can hit the open shot, and we lost that, so we lost a lot of experience when we lost her. So those 2 injuries have been significant. Chauncey Leonard hasn't played a game all year due to a back injury, and she's someone who I thought, especially in the early going, was going to give us kind of a multi-diverse player in terms of being able to score a little bit around the basket and being able to score away from the basket. And obviously that would have helped offensively quite a bit. So, those losses are fairly significant for us. At the same time, everybody has injuries, and you've got to adjust and move on. And I think for the most part, our kids have adjusted quite well to that.
Mm-hmm. Now, some of those players you mentioned are freshmen. You expect them back next season?
Yes. As far as we know, with Brittany, she will be probably ready to play basketball sometime around August. Chauncey is still iffy because they're uncertain how they're going to handle her back injury, if surgery is going to be in her future or not. They just haven't made that decision yet.
Okay, and now a question that I asked of Coach Brown, and I thought was important enough to ask for several of you coaches as we have you on Lakers Live. What is your student athlete? What does she have to achieve in order for you to feel like you've done a good job as a coach?
Well, I think first of all they have to grow as an individual. When you come into Lakeland, most of the time our freshmen come in at 17, 18 years old. They haven't lived on their own yet, and some of the local kids still live at home. But what I feel is a success is when you get a student athlete and they learn how to manage their time with the classroom and athletics, and they're working to improve both their academic program as well as their athletic skill. Mm-hmm. That to me is a success. And our kids we've been very fortunate academically. Our players have done outstanding. We've been an academic All-American team for 9 years in a row now. So we've done really well in that aspect. And on the court, we've had 1 losing season in the last 12 years. So I think that speaks a lot for our student athletes. But we don't view just winning and losing as a success. One of the things that I'm probably most proud of is I have a lot of former players who are in the teaching and coaching profession now. And that's so rewarding to me to see them pick that area to go into. I take a lot of pride in that, and just have enjoyed watching my players go on into that profession and teach and coach.
Any of those back here at Lakeland? Or they're all over the place?
They're all over the place. A lot of local coaches in the Charleston School District, the Effingham School District, the Newton School District, the Paris School District. So we have a lot of former players that are coaching in the school districts around our area.
Okay, so in essence, they've come back home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For Laker Live, I'm Emily Romine in the house. How did you get involved with the program of cheerleading here at Lakeland?
Well, I've been a cheerleader ever since I was in 6th grade, and I went to Oakland High School, and then my coach talked to their coach, and she was like, you should try out, so I tried out.
And how were tryouts?
They were good. They were real easy, so.
What all do you guys have to do for your tryouts?
We had to do cheers, a dance, some jumps, and tumbling.
And how do you feel that the cheerleading program here has helped you academically?
I mean, you get to come to all the games, you get to meet all the basketball players and just everybody in the community, so it's nice.
And what's your major this year?
Cosmetology.
All right, and how's that going so far for you?
It's good, I like it, it's fun.
How's the program of cosmetology here?
It's a really good program. I mean, it's a lot of hours and a lot of work, but it's a really good program.
Okay, so where do you go to school at?
Williams Elementary.
And how did you get here to Lakeland tonight?
My mom drove me here.
Do one of your parents work here at Lakeland?
No.
No? What do you think of the Lakeland program? Would you like to play basketball here someday?
Maybe. I have other colleges, seven colleges.
Oh, can you list them off for us?
Ohio State, Purdue, Illinois, Michigan, USC, Texas, and can't remember the other one.
And what are your favorite sports?
Basketball and soccer, probably.
And soccer. Soccer is a really good sport around here. What have you thought about doing soccer at Eastern?
I've been to an Eastern soccer camp, but I don't know if I'm going to go.
And what position do you play in basketball?
Point guard.
And how are you pretty good?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about basketball?
Probably shooting the ball.
Coach, I don't know if it's because of the injuries or it's because of the way you set things up, but we end up finding out that you have quite a deep bench. Now, early in the season, I was saying that for a lot of coaches, that can yield you dividends later on.
Right.
Do you think that that's still in the mix for the Lady Lakers?
Yeah, we're still playing pretty much 10, 11 kids in each game, and a lot depends on the situation. We do have a situation this year where we have 3 smaller guards, and at times it's hard to play all 3 of those girls off the bench in a game just because of a particular mismatch opportunity for the opponent. But I do like how our bench is played, and I think it is a big bonus for us. And I think in February you're going to start to see where the teams that play 6 or 7 kids, they start to wear down, and those 35 to 40 minutes, they start to log on the legs as well. And so I'm hoping that we'll really see some dividends this month in keeping our kids fresh and pretty strong.
So it can be rough on a team if they're playing the 6 or 7, like you say. You get into the second half, just like you say, and then all of a sudden they might get in a situation of foul trouble or injury.
Right.
They don't know what their bench can do, but you know what yours can do.
Right, and we feel confident, and I think our kids feel confident going into the game now. I've always had the philosophy that you try to get as many kids as you can in the first half, because then if you really need them in the second half, they've already been into the game. There's not that deer in the headlights effect. If you put a kid in with 5 minutes to go in the game and they haven't been in the game yet, that's a lot to ask of somebody.
Okay.
So we've always tried to play a lot of kids, especially in the first half. So if we need them in the second half, they're ready to go.